All right, you little fucker, get over here. Time, dinner time, man, dinner time. Get over here, you little bastard. Come here, come here. Where the fuck? Get over. I gotcha. Yeah, there you go. There you go. God, God damn it, got away again. Hi, folks. How are you? Good to see you, man. Don't worry about that. You didn't see that, okay? You didn't see that. No, no, you didn't see that. But hey, I got my coffee. I got my coffee. Everybody got your coffee? Awesome. Cool. Let's get going. We got a guest with us tonight. Somebody I think you're going to really appreciate. So why don't I bring him in here and then we'll say our hellos. So here we go. Hello, Tusk. How are you, my friend?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm doing good. Good to see you all again. How are you?
I'm doing. I'd be doing better if that little bastard didn't get away again.
One day, one day.
One day I'll get him. But I heard that you got one, so we're looking forward to that. But right now, let's just to quickly say some hellos. That's right, everybody. Tusk is with me today, and we're going to be talking about cats. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Peter Noddle says that he's waiting patiently with anticipation. Well, the anticipation's over, buddy. It's about to begin. And let's see. Hello, Etty. Always wonderful to see you, my dear. I'm so glad you could finally join us. Here you've been very busy, but good luck to you, and hope things are going well. Mr. Wonderful. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Your pal Al, always good to see you. And Jens, you're always good to see around every week, man. You guys are awesome. And who else have we got? Anybody else? Okay, well, the usual suspects are just rolling in, so I guess we'll just Demon Orb. Hey, how are you, man? Good to see you, buddy. Glad you can make it. Awesome. And all right, so we'll just let people kind of wander in as we get going here, and we'll just kind of get things started. So, Tusk, how have you been, mate?
I've been good. As you know, Etty has been retraining.
Hmm.
Uh, they're a barber by trade, but wanted a change. And so they've been retraining as a dog and cat groomer, mainly dogs. And so that's been stressful. It's taken a long time, but we're almost done. We're almost there.
Cool. Awesome.
So
Yeah.
that's been.
As long as she's enjoying it, right?
Oh
Seems to
yeah,
me yes.
it's there is an exam. It's an official sort of certification,
Hmm.
an official certificate you get from the exam board. So it has
Hmm.
to all be done, all ship shape and Bristol fashion. So it
Yeah.
is very, very work intensive. It's quite a short course. It's only 7 weeks, but in that 7 weeks you have, you know, it's like constant exams and like
Hmm.
assessments, and you have to do your written work and your theory. It's not as easy as you'd think. Just
Yeah.
get a dog, a pair of scissors, and set about it. It
Yeah.
has to be, because you know how fucking weird people can be about their dogs, and you know, I'd like them to look like a little distinguished gentleman. It's a fucking
Hmm.
dog. It looks like a dog. Okay,
Yeah.
but people get really weird about it. So they're paying customers, so you have to do
Yeah.
what they say, no
Exactly.
matter how weird, bizarre, and deranged it might be.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, if any of you out there recall the show Tusk and I did on dogs, are all dogs are mongrels. One of the things I think that really just I can't get my head around it. So it's cappuccino wawas.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh,
Even the name, just it's what have we
it's
what have we done? You
I know.
know?
What what's the point of a dog that'll shit in a teacup?
Yeah. Well, I said I used to have a friend that this is who wanted to have a dog, a little chihuahua that she could call Chewy Louie, so she could put it in her Louis Vuitton handbag.
Oh man.
But all it's going to do is take a shit in your handbag.
Hmm.
Well,
Exactly.
why? You've spent like £1,000 on a handbag, £2,000 on not a dog, and then gave it an expensive litter box. What the fuck is wrong with
She's
people?
probably gonna spend $1,000 on Gucci diapers for the Chihuahua.
Oh, you can probably get them too. I wouldn't be fucking surprised.
Hmm.
Ugh,
Oh,
designer
man.
dogs.
Oh, God.
Do you remember way back? I know you're of a particular age, and you'll remember in the 80s, late 80s, a thing called designer stubble.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
where it was like Gucci designed your fucking facial hair or something. What
I know. I know.
horse shit was that?
Oh, and what some people will do, man, I tell you, what they'll spend their money on,
What,
you
you have
know?
shaved today? Oh, actually, this is Versace stubble. Fuck off.
That's crazy. I mean,
Oh, well, we
it's
have to
like
heal.
you have to use like one of those mascara brushes or something to put it on. You
Oh,
know?
it's just, yeah, it didn't last very long, thankfully, because it was a fucking stupid idea. But,
It was.
some people did fall for it.
Well, it's for those effeminate men who can't grow facial hair, I guess.
Well, no, the first time I saw it was George Michael in the Faith video where he tried to make himself look all butch with this stubble. And it was like, then it turns out it had been designed for him by Versace or some shit. What the
Oh man, you're kidding.
Just don't shave for a couple of days.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it takes.
Spend a fortune having. It was like it'd be like somebody like Gucci sponsoring Wednesday.
Mm.
Wednesday is brought to you by fucking
It
absolute crap.
is. And today is even worse. We're going to talk about the most annoying animal on the planet, and that is the
Clive
house
Wells. Oh yeah, sorry.
cat. Okay, well, we'll save that one for next time.
Yeah. How to catch and cook a wild Clive.
Ooh, man.
I
That
don't
sounds
even know if Clive's in the chat, and this is all pointless. Oh, hello,
I
Kieran.
haven't seen him
Yeah,
yet.
well,
I haven't
well.
seen him yet. Hey, there's Crafty. Hey, how are you, sweetie? Great to see you, my dear. How are things? Yes, we are all well. How are you? Can't wait till you're back on the scene, man. I miss you. So, yeah, glad you popped in. We're discussing your favorite animal today. We're all about cats. So, if you love cats, please do not take offense.
Please do.
There you go. But before we get started, I just wanted to get my head around where your distaste and disdain for cats actually stems from.
I think it's So I'm watching the wrong stream. There we are. There we go. I was watching the YouTube stream. Go, why is Jeff just waving his hands around in the air? Oh yeah, okay. I'm watching you in the wrong place. I think it's I've said this many times before. I grew up on farmland, right out in the very edge of civilization, and very few people had cats. It was mainly dogs. They had hunting dogs like greyhounds and terriers and things to go rabbiting, hunting hares and whatever. But there a few people had cats, and obviously there's false memories of being a child and everything. But I think every single day I saw a cat with something in its mouth, a bird or a mouse or a vole or something. And these are like big, fat, bastard pampered house cats, that would, get overfed treats and chicken and cream, but they still had that urge to go out and kill.
Uh-huh.
And you'd see like all along the hedgerows, there'd be like blackbirds and songbirds and things had nested. And the cats would just sit there and wait. And as soon as the parent bird had left to get food, they would go in and kill the chicks for no reason. And I thought, you little bastards.
Exactly.
Why are you doing that?
I understand it's a natural urge for them to hunt, but I mean these, like you said, these fat, overfed house cats, these disgusting cat mongrels, I'll call them.
Yeah.
They go out and they hunt and kill these birds and stuff like that. And if you put down a can of tuna, they'll drop that bird faster than you can say spit.
Yeah, they don't want it. They just don't.
Yeah.
They just killed it for fun.
I know.
Yeah. And then you see, like, you've heard the expression, everybody's heard the expression cat and mouse. Oh, it's a cat and mouse game. Watch a cat when it catches a mouse. It'll torture it. for
Yeah,
hours.
it'll
No.
step on his tail and bat it around.
Yeah, let it think it's escaped, recatch
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
bite one of its legs so it has to run in a circle, and just sit and watch this poor thing struggle, suffer, and eventually
exactly.
die, and then walk away from it.
I know. I mean,
At least,
why
eat the fucking thing.
exactly? Or don't go so far as to kill it and just let the fucking thing go and play with it again tomorrow.
Yeah, he might make friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, our friend is here, Mr. Clive Wells. Hello, Clive.
Oh, we were just chatting about you, Clive.
That's right. Just about ready to get started. So, yeah, my hate for cats really stems more from my extreme allergy to them. I mean, I can't have a cat anywhere near me, or my eyes go red, my nose stuffs up, I sneeze and I cough, and I can't be anywhere near them. I'm so allergic to them.
Is that
You
not
know,
just maybe the rage rising in you when you see one?
well, that could be it too. But the cats, I think they sense it. They'll go out of their way to crawl all over me. You know.
Do you know,
Huh?
this is something I was actually going to talk about but later on, but we can do it now too.
Hmm.
Cat people who are frankly insane. There's something wrong with them. They ascribe these personality traits to the cat. Oh, you can tell when people like them. No, they can't.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, if you've got a white cat, it'll go over to people that are wearing black clothes on purpose. Not fucking won't. All the cat has done has learned that if it exhibits certain behaviours, it gets rewarded.
Hmm.
And
And
once
that's
rewarded, that's all it is.
yeah. It's
So,
like dogs.
yeah, dogs will be faithful to anybody that feeds them, pets them, and treats them well. It's like cats don't care about you. They're just waiting for you to die so they can eat you. That's essentially it.
Until then, they expect you to feed them.
Yeah. So people go, oh, he's got such a lovely personality. No, it doesn't. It's a cat. It's a creature of instinct. It has certain learned behaviours that it displays when it's
Mm.
with you. Now, rubbing up against your legs, purring, and all that, because it knows it gets food. As soon as it leaves the house, it's a killer.
Mm.
It goes out and it kills things. Oh, he can tell. Oh, he's such a good judge of character. No, it's not. It's a fucking cat. You know what I mean? People say these
well,
things like, "Oh, my cat loves you. You must be a good person, or the cat
well,
wouldn't come to you." No,
according to Crafty, you should know because you were a cat for 5 years.
I don't like to talk about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? I was young. I needed the money. I was perhaps a little bit naive.
There you go. See
Yeah,
that all cleared up. There,
yeah,
I'll buy that for $1.
yeah. I did some naked photo shoots for the catalogue. You do what you have
Yeah,
to do.
yeah, absolutely. And Clive says that it's a very unique free gift to have you on the show.
Fuck
Well,
off, Clive.
yeah, fuck. Well, you heard it here first, Clive.
See, usually when Clive's doing all these things in like side chats, I can just type to him, but now I can actually say to him, "Fuck off, Clive. I will find you one day. I will,
Well,
and I'll do unspeakable things to you."
Crafty apologizes for having outed you.
That's okay, Crafty. We'll talk about it later.
I think Clive actually might have a point here. Cats follow the Sith religion.
No, they don't. They're fucking cats, right? this is one of one of the many things I really fucking hate. Right, is sentimentality
Hmm.
and the anthropomorphizing of non-human creatures, cats,
Yeah.
dogs. They give them
Yeah.
names like oh, little Mr. Ludwig the Third and all that. It's a fucking cat, right? It's a little
Yeah.
ball of fur and teeth that's
That's
learned
right.
that you're a sucker, and if it
It's
purrs, you'll give it treats. That's all it is. That's it.
it's like a mongrel with claws.
Yeah, and if a cat, any other animal behaved the way a cat does, it would be put down for everybody's safety. How many times have you gone to somebody's house and their cat's attacked you or scratched you or bitten you or something. Bitten you? Yeah, bitten you.
Happens to me
Right?
every time.
Happens all the time. Now, if a
Happens.
dog did that, that dog would be a dangerous animal, and they'd come round with a big net and a hammer, and they'd fix it right there on the spot. But because it's just little Mr. Tickles, he's just fuck off. Your cat bit me. I'm going to boot it right up in the air, and it's getting
There
put
you
down
go.
for everybody else's safety.
There you go.
Little shits. I hate them.
So do I, man. I got no patience for him at all. And by the way, Clive, fuck off. Fuck off.
Get him told. Right. And take that picture down, Clive, because that was like that picture of you and your avatar must be at least 40 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ. You can't be that young.
He looks about 12 in that picture.
I know. It looks like you were still in grad school.
Yeah.
That's probably when that picture was taken too, huh?
Just before the no, never mind.
Yeah. Exactly.
That would just be inappropriate.
But
yeah, I don't believe Clive looks like that, and I don't believe Clive's looked like that for quite a long time. Yeah, see, revenge and payback, Clive, you fucker.
Oh, Sable Eagle's here. Sable, how you doing, man? Yeah, Sable says, so what? You're at least 40 years old, Tussk, and we don't demand that you're taking that.
Oh, quite a lot of people actually have demanded that very thing. And probably a lot more are going to demand that.
Oh, man. Oh, let's see. What does Eddie have to say? Stay, and wind them up. Wahahaha. So, thanks, Eddie.
Oh, Kayla, that's not funny.
What did she say? Oh, you sounds more excited.
No, Kayla said she's to pre-order my free gift.
Man.
That's just hurtful.
It is. But then you brought along a free gift for everyone as well, which we will share later.
Yeah, this isn't just going to be me ranting on about cats. There is some educational material, and hopefully it will be entertaining. But
that's right.
But mainly educational, and it's a good way of using up excess. Well, you'll see.
There you go. You shall see.
You shall see. But could you bring up the first slide I sent you?
Yeah, I sure can. Just give me 1 second here. Present screen. And I'm going to share screen too. And okay. There we go.
Now, isn't that? I mean, it's quite macabre.
It is.
But it is beautifully done.
And it shows. It shows how destructive cats are.
Now, that's not just one cat's killing over like a year or anything like that, or it's simply an illustration of the number of species that are killed by cats every single year. Each one of those creatures on the screen is a different species. So finch, rat, rabbit, songbird, hedgebird, or whatever. And as you can see, they're all more or less intact. So they were killed for no reason whatsoever, other than to satisfy some, evil urge in the cat itself. It killed it and then just left it. And they were found and collected by the artist who has made this sort of macabre montage of unnecessary killing. And it's horrifying. I didn't bother to count, but there's hundreds of species on that. I mean, you can't see the whole image because it had to be cropped a little. But down the bottom there's squirrels, muskrats, gophers, all different and endangered species, of mammal and bird, lizards and newts, frogs, and all kinds of amphibians and insects. And but they couldn't put the insects on here, you know. But how many times have you saw a cat catch a spider and squash it or eat it, or you know, just why? I mean, I can see the point if the cat was hungry, but it's killed these things just because.
Demon Orb says his house cat hates people, or his shed cat.
Well, maybe not keep it in the shed.
9 o'clock hero. He says, I don't see any foxes.
Well, it's very rare that a cat will kill a fox. Fox cubs, maybe, if it gets a chance, but they tend to be underground and it's difficult to collect things that you can't see.
You know. Here's a comment in typical Clive style. The cats are helping other species to evolve by natural selection.
I think the Australians might have a different view on that, given the fact that cats are essentially a plague on the country. Is it
kind of like kangaroos?
Right. Well, the domesticated cat was brought to Australia by settlers, and they've bred in just unmanageable numbers, and they've caused so much damage and continue to cause damage to the natural ecosystem there that it's free license in parts of Australia just to shoot the little bastards, as many as you can. I remember seeing a video a few years ago. There was a fence had been built, a huge fence at great expense to keep cats out of a particular area. And it was like, they were like locusts. There was like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cats, you know, running at these fences, trying to climb them, and people would go in and like trap them and shoot them and everything. And there was all this, oh, leave the poor cats alone. It's like, no, these aren't your little domesticated Mr. Tiddles. You know, these are feral cats that are just going to come into your town or your village or whatever and kill everything that moves.
Yeah. Peter Noddle just mentioned that feral cats in Australia have helped the extinction of a lot of native species.
Yeah. And there's all these, like, I want to say well-meaning people, but idiots, really, that are trying to save the cat in Australia, going, oh, you have to save them. No, just stop thinking of them as a little cute furry ball that sits on your lap and purrs, because that's not what they're like. They're only like that when they're around you. As soon as that cat leaves the house, it completely changes its character. Completely.
Keela says Aussies live upside down, so when they say plague, they really mean saviors.
I'm not sure that's how language works.
I kind of have to agree with you there, mate.
And apart from anything else, plague isn't the antonym of savior.
Oh,
but yeah,
man.
Just they give me the shivers. Can you bring up slide the killing table 1, please?
Okay, here we go.
There. This is just the USA. In 1 year, it's estimated that cats kill around 2.5 billion creatures unnecessarily every single year.
Wow. That's an astonishing number.
Now, there are people who say they catch the old and the sick ones and all that, but that's clearly not true. A cat's an apex predator. It can, doesn't matter. I've seen my cat when I was a child. It caught seagulls and crows and all kinds of fucking things, rabbits. So it's not as though it was catching old and infirm things. It was, there's no fun in that for the cat.
True enough.
So,
although I can't fault them for knocking off magpies.
Well, this is the thing about there's a lot of superstition around magpies. It was assumed that the Romans of bad luck and they would steal things, something went missing, or it was a magpie that did it. And people would, up until recently in the UK, it was legal to trap them and kill them. Now you can shoot them, they're on a general license, but you can't trap them anymore. But this is just old superstition that's taken such a long time to feed. I mean, I know people who still salute magpies and say, "Good morning, Mr. Magpie." For say, "Oh, it's bad luck" or whatever. All those rhymes: one for sorrow, two for joy. It's a
Mm-hmm.
fucking crow. It's just a crow.
Pretty much.
It's a pretty looking crow. Well, not a crow, but it's a member of the corvid family. But it's just a bird. But
Cool.
grown ass people, adults, otherwise sane and rational people, saluting birds as they walk past, and fucking get a grip of yourself. But magpies are really destructive, and they do eat songbirds. But that's part of their natural prey. So that's just the way of it. That has to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
We don't say we should kill the lions because they're eating the gazelles. That's their natural prey. So so cats kill magpies, magpies kill pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
And between them, they've done quite a good job of absolutely I want to say decimating, but it's the wrong word to use. But they've just annihilated, just species of songbirds and voles and shrews and everything in the country. They go in and they just obliterate them. Like Peter was saying, in Australia, the cats have went in and they've made species extinct, lost forever, because somebody wanted fucking, Mr. Cuddles to, oh, he's such a lovely wee thing. He likes to go out at night. Yeah, he does, to kill things. So, yeah.
Crafty says they're a prick of a crow.
Yeah, they're a crow, and yeah, it's just the worst kind of crow. We have a crow here at the house. We've called it Nork because that's the sound it makes. And every so often, not so much during the summer, but I expect it to start coming onto the balcony at this time of year, and it will sit there and Nork at me until I give it food.
Well,
I don't mind that though. They're quite intelligent creatures.
Mm.
But if you've ever saw crows attack a pigeon, you'll see that they're vicious little buggers as well. They'll peck its eyes out to blind it, and then let it bleed to death before they tear its liver out.
Yeah. Clyde says, what else is coming on this issue of Tussk Rants?
Oh, Clive, we haven't even started yet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got some good stuff coming. Anyways, you want the next slide?
Next slide, please.
Okay.
Now, when we add in rodents and other creatures, when I look at that number,
oh man, that's incredible.
Isn't that just horrifying?
It is. It is.
That's double almost the population of the Earth gets wiped out by cats every year in the USA alone.
Man, that's awful.
So there's no real way of estimating. I hate the word guesstimate, but if you look at the plague of cats in Australia, which God alone knows how many animals they kill, at least in the USA, they're relatively controlled. They tend to be house cats. They don't have the same feral cat problem that they do in Australia. So if you're looking at 12.5 billion in the US with domesticated cats, think of the damage like hundreds of thousands of feral cats are doing in Australia.
Yeah.
It must be 10 times that at least.
It's got to be. I know feral cats are a pretty big problem in a lot of parts of Southeast Asia.
Yeah. So if you go around the entire world, it'll be trillions. Every single year, trillions of animals are needlessly killed by just awful little fucking it's like, I mean, I get that, if cats are feral, that's on us. We brought them over as pets or on ships to control rats or whatever. Fine. But we didn't control them. They didn't control the population.
Yeah.
And a cat, I think, can have 2 litters in 1 year of 6 or 7 kittens. So in 5 years, one female cat can have littered 40 cats.
That's crazy.
You know, and in those 5 years, the first litters had 10, the second litters had 10, and so on and so on. And we didn't control the population. So now there are literally millions and millions of feral cats in places that nature hasn't evolved to deal with them, like Australia. The animals there don't have defense against cats because they never evolved alongside cats.
We have a guest, STSD. Welcome, sir. He says, I was walking through a forest the other day and a headless baby pigeon fell from the top of a tree. I saw a magpie in the same tree. I assume it just ripped the bird's head off and dropped it.
Yep. That's exactly what it did.
Wow.
It will kill the bird in the nest because it's convenient. Let it drop to the ground so it can eat it at its convenience. So it doesn't have to fly away with it. They'll just go back down onto the ground and they'll eat it there.
Wow. That's nasty.
Well,
welcome.
Yeah. And hello as well. Yesterday. Hello.
We have Snowy, the kind kitten posse. Hello, what are we discussing? Ooh.
You little shit.
Yeah, we are discussing our collective disdain of cats.
Yeah,
for various reasons.
Yeah. Now, one of the reasons. Now, it's not like I don't like cats as a whole, right? Because we've had them for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And they do serve a purpose. You know, people find it for companionship and they're lonely, you know, and they're good stress relievers. Then people say, oh, I like the cat because it's independent. And no, you like the cat because you can go out and leave it on its own. Is why you got a cat. It's why you don't have a dog, because it means you can go out. But if you bring up the next slide.
Okay, here we go. Next slide.
This.
I mean.
This angers me.
We do this to them.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, that's called a munchkin cat. And it has been bred deliberately to have those stupid little fucking legs. Which means it can't do anything that a cat would normally. Now,
excuse me.
Usually I would be all for that, considering what it is cats do with quite a lot of their time. But look at it. People think, oh, it's so cute. You know, no, it's not. It's deformed.
Yeah.
We've we've taken a cat, which is a graceful creature. You know, sometimes, you know, they are beautiful. They're built, you know, they're athletic, they're sleek, they're perfect predators, and we do that to it. We take the one thing away from it that evolution has given it, which is its speed and its agility and its ability to climb, and we've done that to it.
Yeah. This is the equivalent of what we do when we create cappuccino wawas.
Yeah, if you get what do you call them? Brachiocephalic dogs, you know, bulldogs and things that don't have noses and they can't breathe properly and their hips fail. We've done it to cats now. And it's like, but cats have remained, or the domesticated cat at least, has remained relatively unchanged in 5,000 years. You know, an Egyptian cat is indistinguishable from a modern day cat. You know, back from the times of the pyramids and the pharaohs and everything, they remained relatively unchanged until now, when we've given them stupid little stubby legs, which means you see all these videos online, which is something else I'm going to come to. We spoke about this before the stream, right? I'll just mention it now. In fact, it's estimated that there are 6.5 billion. That's billion cat images and videos online. That's just an estimate. It's probably closer to 7 billion. So once again, there are more videos and pictures of cats online than there are people on the planet.
Oh my Lord. It would take a person a lifetime to consume all that content.
Well, it takes I think it's 40 days to count to 1 million. If you start 1, 2, 3 at a steady pace. It'll take you 40 days to count to 1 million. So there's no way you could, in your entire life, you need 6.5 fucking billion pictures of cats. You couldn't
Oh,
consume them.
God.
Even if you were doing one a second, it would take you longer than you would live to look at every single one of them. You know?
Yeah.
But
I
they're
mean,
there.
even if you took out all the repeats, you'd probably still be left with about 4 billion.
No, this is 6.5 billion unique
Unique.
images. Unique images, yeah.
That's way too much cat on YouTube.
Yeah. And there'll be multiple pictures of the same cat, but the images are unique images of that cat.
Mm.
So if you take into consideration all the compilations you get on the YouTube videos where it's just pictures of cats, and if you add them into the equation, you're talking double that probably. And it's estimated that around 13 to 15% of internet traffic, specifically YouTube, is driven by cat content. So if you want to, get your numbers up on your YouTube channel, cats, because you'll 13.5 to 15% of how many people use YouTube a day? It's like 2 billion or something like that.
Exactly.
You could find yourself with a hefty percentage of that just because you put the name cat in the video title. Maybe not the video I'm going to show later on.
Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be good.
Right. But I just think this is horrific what we've done to them. I mean,
Well,
what's the use of it?
Sable says that they're no more a natural part of the British or Irish or Australian ecosystem than cane toads.
Well, maybe Scotland does have its wildcat population, which is indigenous, or to the point where it's been here so long it is now a natural part of the ecosystem. But even the Scottish wildcat is being bred out because they're mating with feral and domestic cats. So the Scottish wildcat population is critically endangered, which is kind of a shame because we managed to kill all the bears, we killed all the beavers, we killed all the wolves, killed all the elk, and now we're in danger of losing the cats as well. And it's so sad.
Yeah.
There's a small zoo near here that has a population of captive wildcats. And that's the only way we can guarantee the survival of the species is to keep them captive and breed them. But then we've got the problem of crossbreeding and inbreeding. And so eventually, I think probably within the next 50 years, the Scottish wildcat will be gone. It'll be extinct.
Yeah. Blue Feather has joined us. He says, meow.
I would keep quiet if I were you, Blue Feather.
Yeah, and by the way, Blue Feather, you won the last Name That Place, so I owe you a spot on the show. You need to let me know if you want to get on so I can set that up. Okay, buddy? Let's see who else. Sable Eagle makes a point here. The Scottish wildcat is endangered because of all the feral and domestic cats.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're breeding with them. I mean, it's you'll probably have saw this where you are, not just you, everybody in the chat. If you have a rabbit population where you are, and you'll see like your typical grey rabbit, but in amongst them there'll be white rabbits and black rabbits because they've bred with escaped domesticated rabbits, and normally they wouldn't survive 5 bloody minutes in the wild being, white or whatever. But there are so many of them that the numbers, they're more or less stable. But the domesticated rabbits have inherent health problems that the wild rabbits don't, and they're breeding with them. And now even the rabbit population has become weakened because the escapees or, released into the wild because you couldn't be bothered looking after it anymore.
Yeah.
You think, a fox will get it or something. No, a fox won't get it. A fox will get some of them, but some of them will escape and they'll manage to breed with the wild population and they'll weaken the blood. And now you end up with rabbits, wild rabbits, who have health problems that they don't have any way to deal with. because
Mhm.
it didn't. Because the domesticated rabbits are riddled with disease and deformity that
Mhm.
we've bred into them. You know, lion heads and lops and things. Now, what's going to happen with this little fuck on screen, right? And I can't blame the cat for it because it's not the cat's fault. One of them is going to get bumped by a wild cat. And
Mhm.
we're going to have wild cats with those stupid little fucking legs.
Yeah, and they're gonna
They
have a
won't be,
tough time
yeah,
surviving.
they won't be able to hunt properly. They won't be able to breed properly. They won't be able to do anything properly. So maybe that we'll have a litter. A wild cat will have a litter of kittens, and not one of them will survive more than a season,
Mhm.
and then that's it.
End up
That's
being prey for some other animal.
they'll end up being prey. And what would have been a welcome addition to the wild population has now been lost.
Mhm.
And if that cat only has one litter before it gets killed or dies or whatever, starves or whatever, then that's it. That's completely taken out of the equation. So now we have not only that litter, all the litters the cats from that litter would have had, they're all gone
Mhm.
too.
Well,
I did
so
say
I
this
just
would be
want to,
educational and it would be a rant, but it wouldn't just
absolutely.
be a rant, you know.
Yeah, I just want to quickly reply to a blue feather. Um, you live in New York City, all the gunshots, screaming, yelling, we ruined my. Don't worry about it, buddy. Don't worry about it. When you come on, Streamlabs does a great job of knocking out the background noise. So if you want to come on, just let me know, man. You're in. You're in like Flynn, buddy. Anytime. Um, Peter Nonald says, "Don't get me started on rabbits."
No, Peter, start. Go for it. Another invasive species. You
Very
know,
much so.
in the
Uh,
UK, they were brought here by the Romans because they were a food source, a good, cheap, and easy food source. But once the
mhm.
Romans left, the rabbits just, well, they did not even since the Romans left. All it takes is 2 rabbits to escape or breed,
Yeah,
and that's it. You know, so
and they get out of hand real fast.
yeah, real fast. I mean, I
Oh
used
yeah.
to do pest control on the estate, the big estate down where I lived, down near Loch Lomond, and I could shoot 50 rabbits in a day, and I'd come back the next day and there'd be 50 more. You know,
Hmm.
there's no way of controlling the little buggers. Well, myxomatosis dealt with them a few years ago. That wiped
Hmm.
out about 80-90% of the population, but all it needs is one breeding pair, and in a decade, we're right back where we started.
Exactly. So how about you explain this ugly bugger?
Oh, Jesus Christ almighty. Now, this is the problem with cats. This is my main problem with cats. It's this anthropomorphization of them, where people
Hmm.
ascribe them characters and go, "Oh, it's Mr. Ludwig Beethoven the
Hmm.
second. He's so intelligent. He's so distinguished," and they dress them up like this, and that looks
Hmm.
like a ball sack, right?
It does.
That's known as a hairless cat. Now, if you thought the Munchkin cat was fucking ugly and stupid and just an abomination to evolution, why have we done them hairless? You know,
Oh.
again, cats are, people enjoy having cats because they're fluffy, they're nice to stroke, they're stress relieving, and all that.
Hmm.
You know, some of them, like the Maine Coon or the Norwegian Forest cat, with these huge big coats, they look fantastic. They do. And then we do this to them. We
Oh.
breed them so they have, like, they're in a permanent state of alopecia and have no hair. So you have to put a sweater on them. You don't have to put fucking glasses on them. And, and I hope that was a stuffed animal, but it's not, unfortunately. That's someone's done that to a living, actual sentient creature.
Hmm.
And I mean, the cat's ugly enough having no hair, but why would you do that to it? I mean, come on now.
Yeah, exactly. That's just freaky.
Etty wants one.
Mr. Blue Feathers and Mr. Bittlesworth. Eddie says they are so cute though. You
No, they're
call that
not.
cute? Come on, Eddie.
It just looks like you've been in the bath too long, and
And just shriveled up.
you just shriveled up. Yeah, it looks like a little ball sack with ears.
Yeah. A Gucci cat? Made to look like a gooch?
Yeah. I just think it's the things we do in the name of vanity, and oh, I've got a hairless cat. I spent £2,500 on it. Really? And I'm supposed to be impressed by that. You're a fucking moron. You've got a cat that hasn't got any hair, is as neurotic as a shaved monkey, and is going to cost you your entire life savings and vet bills just trying to keep the fucking thing alive.
Oh my Lord.
That's not healthy. If an animal was born into the wild hairless like that, unless it was like a hairless mole or a hairless rat or something, or a mole rat, I think they're called. That's different.
The point I was just going to make. A cat like that, how is it going to survive a single Scottish winter?
It wouldn't survive a Scottish summer, let alone the winter.
It's done for.
Yeah, it's like if it's not sitting in front of a roaring fire being fed hot buttered crumpets, it's not going to survive more than 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
But it's this kind of it's the what's the word I'm looking for? It's the sort of air of superiority and arrogance you get from people who's like, oh yes, I have an Egyptian Sphinx cat, as if it fucking means something, or oh yes, I have a Norwegian forest cat, purebred. No, it fucking isn't. It's a mongrel, just the same as your stupid little fucking chihuahua.
But Eddie says, but they feel so good. I'm not going there.
It's too easy, isn't it? It is. It's just too easy. Even I'm not going to touch that one because I've said ball sack enough times on this stream, I think. I don't think I have to say it anymore.
Oh, no, I'm not going to touch this one either.
I wouldn't touch that with a plastic one.
Oh, God, I'm not going to. Oh, I'm not going to touch that. I'm not touching that.
No. Just quickly delete that comment and move on.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I'm not so sure about that, Jens. Hairless cats were bred so that people would have to deal with their hair.
I think that's wouldn't. I think it's a spelling error.
But still.
Well, if you can't deal with cats' hair, here's a fucking thing. Don't get a cat.
But the Egyptian hairless cat is a breed that's been around for thousands of years.
Yeah. But it was bred that way. And like the Shar-Pei, they kind of fell out of fashion a long time ago. And they were brought back recently by wankers who wanted like designer animals and things. They go, oh yes, I've got my fucking Mr. fucking Bigglesworth, blah 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 blah. And the lines have been crossed and crossed and crossed again. So these cats are they're so inbred that they'll let you do shit like that to them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just sit there with this buzzing sound in their head. That's it. That's all they've got going on in there.
Yeah.
And they just, you see, like every single cat at some point during the day they call it the mad half hour.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it gets the zoomies or it starts staring into space, and then people, oh, it's so cute. No, we've bred insanity and mental deficiency into these animals. It's not letting off excess energy or blah 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 blah. It's insane. It can see things that you can't because we've bred this into them, saying, oh, that cat's a lovely one, the big blue, whatever it is, I forgot what they're called. And so you breed them and people buy them, and then you breed them, and then you buy them, and then you breed them, and then 10 generations down the line, you've got a cat that's completely insane.
Yeah.
Like the equivalent of the dueling banjos and Deliverance. That's what you've got. It might look nice, but it's no more a cat than a dog is anymore. There's no instinct there. It just looks like a cat.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same as some dogs that have been bred to have small heads to dig into holes after animals like rabbits and such, but
Yeah.
their brain outgrows their skull and they go insane.
Yeah, the pressure on their skull drives them mad, and
Yeah,
their eyes pop out because
yeah,
their eyes outgrow their eye sockets.
yeah,
This is like pugs and French bulldogs. If you have
yeah,
one of those at some point, it's going to go insane and its eyes are going to pop out.
yeah. I mean,
Absolutely, it's just awful.
I agree. I agree. I don't hold anything against people who love cats and who own cats, and because generally speaking, cats are beautiful animals.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
uh, but it's just the cat population as a whole, and the obsession over their pet cats. I mean, people let their lives go to shit because of the demands they think their cats have.
Yeah,
You know,
this is what
they,
my problem is. It's not the cats themselves. I can't blame an animal. It's like
no,
for
of
how it
course not.
behaves and everything. That's the entire story of Moby Dick. You can't take
Yeah,
revenge on an animal, but people have to be aware of what it is they've got in their hands.
yeah.
It's not just little a cute ball of fluff. It is a killing machine that is
It's a
doing
natural predator.
terrible. That's the problem. It's not a natural predator because they're taking them into areas where they didn't evolve naturally. They've been introduced.
True.
So be aware that when you get a cat, and if you live in New York or Australia or wherever it happens to be, Japan, Singapore, the cat doesn't belong there. And the animals there have no defense against it at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just be aware that whatever stupid fucking name you give it, and buy wee toys to play with and make a wee house for it and everything. Wow, it's so cute. As soon as that thing leaves the house, you've done
Mm-hmm.
immeasurable damage to the environment around you. To say
Yeah.
nothing of the intensive farming that's needed just to feed the little bastards.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know,
how many of these cats were bought or raised um, for the fashionable? "Well, look at me, I have a Gucci cat," and then
yeah,
the fad runs out 2 months later. They throw them out in the street, leave them off there on their own, and next thing you know, you've got a domestic cat problem all over the town.
yeah. This is what happens. I mean,
Hmm.
every farm around us, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 small holdings, 5 or 6 stables in the big farm, the big sheep farm, and they all had cats to keep down pests. But they don't
Hmm.
stop at pests. That's the problem.
Hmm.
It'll
And
kill. Yeah,
Professor
go on.
Phil Bell has joined us. Hello,
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 Phil
hello.
Bell.
Anyways, go ahead, Tusk. Sorry for disrupting.
Oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, they don't stop at killing farm pests. They don't stop at killing the rats and the pigeons that are in the grain. They start going further afield,
Hmm.
and that's when you get the problem.
Yeah.
So you end up with a farm cat and its mate, and 5 years
Hmm.
down the line, that 2 cats has become 20 cats, and
Yeah.
those cats need their own territory, and they start to spread out. And as they spread
Hmm.
out, they have to eat, and they kill everything on the way. And before
Hmm.
you know it, like where I grew up, almost all of the farms are gone. There's a few small holdings that do like fancy breeds of sheep and cattle for shows
Hmm.
and that sort of thing, and stud. The main
Yeah.
sheep farm is gone. It's been gone for quite a long time now,
Hmm.
and there's a massive feral cat problem. Now, it doesn't
Yeah.
take many cats to be a massive problem. Half a dozen and maybe 10 square miles is enough to be a
Yeah.
massive problem.
Hmm. Anyway, do you have any more slides you want to show?
No, I think that's it
This is, I think, the
because
last one, eh?
that's the last one.
Okay,
Oh
I'll
no,
stop.
sorry. Yeah, there was one more.
Is there?
Yeah,
Oh.
that right. That and that annoys the fuck out of me. Right.
That's funny. That
I
is
mean,
funny.
I don't know. Come on now. Now I know it's a Japanese thing to make everything cute,
Yeah.
And that's fine. I
Oh,
get that.
God.
It was the same in the UK during the Victorian era, where you would have like an inkwell, but it'd be some elaborate approximation of like a bird of paradise or a woodpecker. We like to use animal imagery and things, and
Yeah.
if a walking stick that's got a badger's head carved onto it or something, fine. But see this, that's just some rice and vegetable curry, right? But the time it's
Yeah.
taken to make it look like a cat is longer than it took to make the fucking kid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that looks like just a simple vegetable stew or a vegetable soup.
Yeah, and they've spent how long cutting out little bits of seaweed
I
or
know,
nori? You know,
and you know, it's not just Japan. They do that here in Vietnam too, Korea, and it's all over Asia. They do this shit.
why though? I mean,
I know, I
I
know.
just
You can go to all the little food fairs in the shopping centers around here, and they got those Japanese matcha balls, those
yeah.
rice ball, done up like Hello Kitty and all that kind of shit. They love it here. They lap that shit up.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things. The little mochi balls are the most disgusting fucking thing I've
Oh, I
ever
know,
eaten in my life.
I
It's like
know.
glue and putty. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. Etty
I
loves them. I
know.
think they're absolutely vile.
And in the center they got that grainy, sandy bean paste.
Yeah. Oh, the
Oh,
red bean paste. It's supposed to be sweet. Now, I suppose to Western tastes, it isn't sweet. It's a different sweetness from what we're used to. It's not that refined white sugar. The
yeah,
overdose of glucose
yeah.
syrup you get in your chocolate and your candy bars and all that. But it's not even sweet as a natural flavor. It's not even like you're biting into an apple. It's
No.
it's like tomato puree. It's
Hmm.
absolutely fucking disgusting.
But it's got this sandy,
That
grainy
gritty
texture you
texture,
can't get
yeah.
rid of. You
Yeah.
can't smash it enough to get rid of that texture.
No, I remember the first time I ate one. I was in Pat's Chung Yin. No, it wasn't Pat's Chung Yin. It was a Chung Yin in Glasgow. It's a big, huge one, big
Uh-huh.
Asian cash and carry. And I was in looking for just whatever ingredients, and I saw them, and I went, "Oh, okay." And they were green matcha flavored with little coconut sprinkles on. I went, "I'll give that a try."
Hmm.
And I bought a pack of 6 of them for like £1 or whatever it happened to be. Got
Hmm.
outside, put one in my mouth, and spat it clear across the car park.
Shit, shit.
So what the fuck is this?
Oh man.
And I thought maybe I'd done something wrong with it. Did it have to be cooked, or was it had to be prepared or something, or had they simply gone off? And I just got a bad batch or something. But I went
Yeah.
home and I researched it, and no, people deliberately and with apparent enjoyment put those things
Hmm.
in their mouth and eat them.
Hmm.
It's like a ball of fucking cold glue.
Yeah. Well, it's extremely glutinous, sticky rice that's been ground up into a powder, and they make a dough out of it, which is what this thing really is. They
Yeah, it's raw
put a
dough.
splotch of bean paste in the middle and roll it up like a golf ball.
Oh, they're absolutely awful.
Hmm.
And oh yeah, Hello Kitty isn't actually a cat. That's a thing.
No, actually,
It's supposed to be like a little girl who just looks cute like a cat, but it's not actually a cat.
no. It's supposed to be a little girl.
Yeah,
Hello Kitty. All right. Well, that's it for the slideshow, right?
yeah, that's it for the slideshow. That's a good hour I've been ranting on.
That's
Oh,
okay,
I
man.
hope
It's
it's at
been a
least
good.
been. I hope it's at least been educational. Now I've given some justification for my dislike of cats and
Well,
and cat people.
but the thing is, behind it all, you still have respect for proper cat owners who are responsible, and the beauty of your traditional cat. I mean, let's face it, they're gorgeous animals. They are.
Yes,
But
but
we've had experiences that have led us to dislike them.
right, they are beautiful creatures, and that's the problem. That's
Mm.
how they get away with what they do and how they behave. Now, I
Yeah.
don't want to bring up the name, but it's a good reference point, and everybody will recognise it. Terry Pratchett.
Mm.
who wrote the Discworld novels, he understood cats. He saw them for what they really were. You know, take away, he said if cats were frog-shaped, we'd see what horrible, evil little bastards they really are.
Mhm.
You know, but it's that he compared them to the elves in one of his books, where they look gorgeous and they're glamorous and beautiful and sleek. And
Mhm.
it is that glamour. You know, they put a kind of, people sort of just gloss over what they really are because of how they look.
Mhm.
And then they go after the ones that look the best, like the Maine Coons, your Norwegian forest cats, your Egyptian Sphinx cats. Now, a friend of
Mhm.
ours, Etty and I, has 2 ocelots, and they're absolutely beautiful things. They look like little leopards, and they've got almost like thumbs for climbing. They're absolutely beautiful. But he paid thousands of pounds for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they don't leave the house because they'd be stolen in an instant. You know, as soon as they left the house, somebody would snatch them up.
Mhm.
But then I say he's responsible because he's not letting these things kill cats. Do you know what I mean? These
Yeah.
are like apex predators. But
And OK Booma has joined us. Hello, sir.
okay,
Welcome.
Boom,
Welcome.
that's been a long time.
I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you here. Welcome.
Yeah.
Anyways, Tusk, listen.
Oh,
I think it's time we share that special video you made for me.
okay. Before you
But
do,
I
I
thought
think
I'd let you. Thought I'd let you introduce it.
okay. This is just to break up the me ranting about cats and my dislike of them and the damage they do. This is just a little video I made. It's only 10 minutes long. Would you put the disclaimer up before you press?
Oh, I certainly can. Just give me a second here.
Right? And while this is
Oh,
playing, I'm going to mute and I'm going to go like do a pee or whatever. So yeah.
okay. So here we go. I'm just going to share this quickly. Make sure we do this right. Share screen. Screen 2. Share. And there you go. Hardly any cats were harmed during the making of this video. There you go.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. And here we go, folks.
Yeah, told you not to fuck about, didn't I? Hello everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Tea Time with Tusk. Today we are making a casserole. We were going to make a kitten tikka masala, but I've decided to do this instead. Very, very simple. All you need is your meat, whichever one you prefer. I mean, it's up to you, I suppose. And some very, very simple ingredients. Just put that over there. So what we have is, I'm going to make this in the pressure cooker today, just to make it simple for me. So I've got the pressure cooker on, just bring it up to heat for a little bit. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes or so to come up to temperature. Then we have some little shallots, just keep them whole, just peel them. Sometimes they come in 2 parts like that, but that's fine. Some carrots, some baby potatoes. That's a beef, hang on a second, you can't see that, can you? This is beef and red wine. Oh, that's the pressure cooker ready. It's, can you see that label? Yes, it's Head Honcho Cabaret Sauvignon. Sorry, Cabernet Sauvignon Cabaret. Yes, a little fucking hateful cat with a stupid top hat on it. Fucking thing. Anyway, and if you're careful with your meat, when you trim it off, you've still got quite a lot left. Now, you've probably heard the expression, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but that's for a different video. So all we're going to do is we're going to put some of it, I've got the chest cam thing on, it's probably not very good. So we're going to put some olive oil into our pressure cooker. Then I'm going to put our shallots and carrots. The carrots I've chopped up chunky like this. I've halved it down the middle, sliced it down the middle if they're thick, Otherwise I've just left them like this because they're going to be in this pressure cooker for quite a long time. I'm going to put them onto the pressure cooker for about 20 minutes, everything for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to take it down to the slow cooker function and cook it for about 2 hours, so it'll be delicious and succulent. So with your meat, what you want to do is very gently chop it in half. Again, told you not to fuck about, didn't I? And again, that made a pretty poor fist of that one. Never mind. And again, because this is going to be getting to the slow cooker for a long time, you can have it, it's preferable you actually have it like this because you don't want it to all fall apart and turn into gravy. So, sorry about the noise there. It is noisy work chopping up meat like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the angles, all that sort of good stuff, and then I'll show you what I'm doing next, so I'll be back in just a moment. So now we're down at lower table level, just so you can see in here. So I've got the carrots, onions and the offcuts there. Just going to saute them. I'm actually going to change the temperature of this if I can, or can I? I should probably have thought that through. So I'm going to cancel that, saute, 10 minutes, temperature high. Yeah, that's what I had the temperature on too low, that was the problem there. So, it doesn't really matter, as I say, I don't want to brown the meat too much. It's fine like this, I don't want to seal it. I want the juices from it to come out and it to absorb all the red wine gravy as well, so we're not too fussed about browning it too much. I just want to sweat these shallots down very little, not a lot at all. So I'm going to just stretch over. I'm very aware that I haven't cleaned the kitchen for a day, and it's a fucking mess because I made hoisin pork yesterday and that took all bloody day, and if you've ever made hoisin sauce from scratch you know just how labour intensive and messy it can be. So I'll just do this so you can't see how dirty my kitchen is. So that's our yeah, that's coming up to temperature now. This is a rich beef stock. I bought a beef stock today, I couldn't be bothered making one from bones, it takes too long. Always use rich beef stock. If you're going to use beef stock, you can use chicken stock, but it's best if you use rich beef stock and a good quality-ish red wine. Usual rule applies, if you wouldn't drink it, don't cook with it. So, as that comes up to temperature, we're just going to, without any sort of ceremony, drop Mr. Tiddles in. Still got a bit of the giblets on it, no worries there. Give me 2 seconds. Again, I haven't got this through. I need to wash my hands, but I can't do that without taking over to my sink, which is full of shit out. I know none of you give a fuck, but my partner will get upset if I show you my dirty kitchen. So, I hope you can hear me over the sound of that. I'll raise my voice just a little. And into here, we're not going to chop the thyme. What we're going to do is twist it like this so all those little leaves come off, but we don't end up with any of the stemming or the stems because they can be really tough and they don't cook down very well. So we just twist it and rub it. Rub it. That's the noise of horny frog makes. Rub it. So yeah, there's some thyme in there. we'll give that just a little stir. So Mr. Willow Whistles gets to be reunited with his erstwhile internals. And to that, we'll stretch over again. We'll add our potatoes. Right, and then we're not going to stir it again. All I'm going to do is pour the stock over. Hopefully I've got this right and I've made enough to cover it. Almost. But that's okay because I was going to pour in another pour. I was going to pour in another slug of red wine. So yeah, I'm going to go round it again with the red wine into the jug I had the stock in anyway, just to pick up any flavours that I'd left. And it turns out I've left quite a bit here, can you see there? But the wine will pick that up. So I said I wasn't going to stir it, and I'm not. What I'm going to do is just make a little well here, and that will draw the red wine in, push it out, and it will kind of evenly distribute it, or distribute it a little better, at least. So there, that's it. It is, to make a casserole is really simple. If you wanted to make a kitten tikka masala or a katsu curry, just follow the recipe for that. Like I've got so many curry recipes up on here. So that's the pressure cooking part over. As you can see, Mr. Tiddles here is cooking up absolutely lovely. So all I've got to do now is, or what I have done now, is taking the lid off, put it onto slow cook. I'll leave it for an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Let it cool overnight, skim about 70 or 80% of the fat off the top, put it back onto slow cook for another hour, and serve it up with a nice glass of red wine, the same red wine I used to make the gravy with, and some buttered brown bread. Fantastic. So thanks for watching, and cheerio and rasta.
Oh man, that looked good. That was fantastic. Thanks, Tusk.
Is it still playing on the stream? I don't know if it is.
Well, I can't really. Let's see if it is.
I think it's about a minute or so behind.
No, it looks like it's pretty much over.
Oh,
Anyways,
okay.
my comments will catch up. Anyway, so yeah, that was awesome, man. That was great. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Well, we're having it later on. We have some friends coming over for dinner later on, so
awesome.
We're going to have that. They neither of them cook. You know, they've got like a freezer and a microwave, and that is like no. The recipe book is like a list of menus for local takeaways. It's like,
oh no!
You know, can't have that. You know,
can't have that. No way.
Go to have it go and have them eat some real food.
Some real food. Exactly right. Hey, even Crafty says that looks nice.
It's very tasty. If you've never eaten that meat before, it's quite dry, but it does take on flavors very well.
Oh yeah, and that red wine probably just soaks into that meat.
Yeah, that's why I don't seal the meat, because I want the meat to absorb the flavors. If you seal the meat, you know, if you brown it off too much, what will happen is it won't absorb the other flavors, and it will take too long for the inside of it to cook, the middle of it to cook, and it'll become tough and stringy and chewy, and that's no good. So don't brown your meat unless you're going to eat it medium rare or rare. Just don't do it.
Yeah. Exactly. That looks really great. That looked really awesome. Thanks so much for doing that. That was wild. I enjoyed that.
Well, I was making it last night, and Etty's making little wax melts, you know, for like burners, like wax burners, wax burners, and so the kitchen smelled like, you know, all that red wine and meat and all, you know. You went into the sitting room and it smelled of like wax candles, And it was like this really, really strange mix. It was like, I thought the kitchen smells amazing because red wine and thyme and and shallots, it just smells great no matter what you do with it. But then you get into the living room and it's like, I'm going back into the kitchen. But Etty wouldn't come into the kitchen because it would make them hungry. So it was like, okay, we're just going to have to wait. We'll have this today. And I'm very much looking forward to it.
I hope you enjoy it. You did a great job putting it together. I wish I was there, man. I would love to have some. Oh God, that looks so good.
You can get everything where you are to make it, I think.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
I can, except for the wine. I could find the wine here, but it tends to be a bit on the expensive side.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you wouldn't get like that wine, but any half decent red wine will do. I just chose that one because I had a cat on the label, and I just wanted to rub it in a little bit.
You just rub it in a bit. Yeah, exactly. And a little. I think we've kind of saddened Snowy the kitten Potsy.
Oh well.
I hope you enjoyed it anyway, Snowy. So there you have it, folks. Cats. What do you think of cats? Let's hear from you guys in the side chat. What do you think of this wonderful recipe and our take on cats? We'd love to hear from you. If you got a comment for me or for Tussk, just put it in the chat.
Keep it civil.
Yeah.
Oh, and to answer Boomer earlier on, said I'm not an axe wielder. I think it was.
No.
Nope. No, I wasn't trying to do this with any sort of finesse. It was just deliberate. Just he's like a fucking serial killer. I wasn't. I do have some knife skills. That was deliberate, just hacking away at it.
My favorite part was that little opening bit with the club and the cat scooting around the corner, and
told
that was hilarious. I loved it. That was really good.
I don't think I'll list that video on my channel. I think that would just remain like private or unlisted.
No, of course not. I mean that was a specific purpose for that video.
Yeah.
But you could probably re-edit or redo it in another way for your channel. I'm sure. I mean, it's up to you.
There's nothing particularly interesting about the recipe. It's a pretty basic casserole, but you can use like other domesticated animals if you want, like guinea pig,
like chihuahuas. Sure, chihuahuas.
Oh, I don't know. There's barely a forkful on a chihuahua. Don't ask me.
That's true. And they're probably pretty tough too, because they're pretty high strung dogs.
Yeah, made entirely of string.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, so that's my take on cats.
There you go.
I say I don't blame the animal because we've done that to them, but I just wish people would drop the sentimentality and the that wishy-washy. Oh, the cat is so lovely and he's such a personality, and just be aware of what you're doing when you have a cat. It's not just you're not just taking on the cat; you have to take on the damage that it does.
Yeah.
So,
well, your pal Al says, "Why you ruin perfectly good chicken meat?"
That wasn't chicken.
No, it wasn't.
I don't know what the chickens look like where you live, but that wasn't a chicken.
Oh man. And Zebulon says, "I'd eat it and drink the rest of the wine."
Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Beats to it.
Yeah, there's about a third of the wine left. Well, I do have some oxtail and pancetta in the fridge. So what I think I'm going to do tonight, maybe, or tomorrow morning, is I'm go to the shop and get a bottle of Guinness. Has to be a bottle of Guinness Original, and cook the oxtail with the red wine, the Guinness, against some rich beef stock, and essentially make the same dish again. Only this time I'm going to put in like Guinness, and that will be served up with like a mashed celeriac and mashed potato.
Yeah. Or even just a little something to thicken it up a bit and put it into an oxtail pie.
Well, it's on the bone, so I can't do that.
Well, you could take it off the bone, right?
Yeah, but then you lose all that gelatinous gloop that comes
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
In
that's
the
true.
marrow, you lose all that tendon. And
Yeah, true.
I know in Vietnam, tendon is a delicacy. It's a big thing, that beef tendon and stuff. So I want that because I love. Eki doesn't like it so much, but I love that gelatinous gloopy that you get from pig's trotters or
Well, that's what it's all about.
yeah.
I mean, a nice big pig's trotter in a nice hearty pea soup. Oh man, my mom used to make that. Oh, absolutely lovely.
Yeah. I said when I got here where we're living now, one of the first things I did was find out where the best local butcher was and go and introduce myself and say, right, I want pig's trotters, I want beef skirt, and these kind of less popular cuts of meat, and they were
Mhm.
absolutely delighted. Like
Yeah,
somebody was actually eating this stuff. I want oxtail, pig's trotters, lamb's trotters, calf's brain if you can get it, tongue,
yeah.
all
Oh,
this. So
beef tongue is fabulous.
I do like some beef tongue. I really do. It's
Oh,
difficult to get here unprocessed now. You can't buy a whole tongue. You get it in like a pot or processed and sliced up. You
oh
can't
yeah,
actually get
man.
just the raw tongue, unfortunately, because of the foot and mouth disease from a few years back. We can't get
Yeah,
calf's brain anymore. We're not
yeah.
allowed to sell brain, unfortunately,
Hmm.
which is a shame because I really liked it.
Yeah, I used
But
to have that back home when I was a kid. Mom used to make that as well. She just put the whole tongue in the oven, make a beautiful brown gravy with it, and then she just slice it into medallions, and it was
it is so
so
good,
good,
isn't it? There's so
so
much
good.
flavour in it. But
Oh
again, it's like one of those flavours that's fallen out of favour. People, it's like salad leaves. Everybody wants the soft leaves now.
yeah,
But so no one eats like marshmallow or burdock or anything or dandelion anymore. They want
hmm,
lamb's lettuce, watercress, and things like. You've no idea what you're missing with those flavors, but because
yeah,
they're slightly tougher than the lettuce and micro leaves you're used to, you won't eat them. You think, oh, I'm not eating that. It's all tough and chewy. Yeah,
hmm.
but once you chew it and release those flavors,
That's what
it's
it's all about.
fantastic. But yeah,
That's
too
what I
few
like
people.
about. That's what I like about a lot of the food here, especially the street food. They'll give you a dish of just an entire friggin' branch of fresh basil leaves on the branches still. You just pick them off and throw them in your noodles. And,
Yeah,
oh,
you do that in the West, but you'll send the dish back and say, can you take the leaves off for me? Fucking no. Do you know what I mean?
no,
Get involved in your food.
exactly.
Like the casserole I'm going to be serving tonight, the meat is quite deliberately left on the bone. So when you're eating it, you're going to have to get involved with it. You're going to get
Hmm.
that gravy on your fingers. You have to lick your fingers and get it all off, and
Yeah.
you know,
Oh
and you're going to
man.
have to like suck on the bones to get the wee bits of meat that are trapped under like the vertebrae or whatever it happens to be, and you're going to get
Hmm.
those big bursts of flavour
Yeah.
that you wouldn't get otherwise if it was just off
Hmm.
the bone and served up to you like baby food. That's
Yeah.
not how it's going to be. I
Oh,
always cook my meat on the bone if possible, especially chicken, because the chicken you get these days from supermarkets is so bland. You have to
yeah.
brine it for like 2 or 3 days before you can get any flavor from it.
Yeah.
So
That's why
keep it
you get
on the
free.
bone. Yeah,
Yeah, we try to buy the free range chickens, which are aplenty here in Vietnam.
yeah. Well,
People just let them run loose.
we don't have that luxury, unfortunately.
Mm.
I was across at the butcher's the other day getting oxtail and pancetta, and a free range corn fed chicken costs £22 here.
Oh my lord!
But I can go to the supermarket and buy 4 or 5 factory reared chickens for the same price. So it's really not cost effective.
No, no.
But the flavour difference is worth it once in a
It's
while.
night and day.
Yeah,
It's night and day, really.
because like, yeah, if I've said this to people in the past, it's like you don't know what chicken tastes like if all you've eaten is farm raised processed chicken. Actual
Mhm.
chicken tastes nothing like what you might be used to, unless you've
Yeah.
had proper wild chicken. It's so
Mhm.
strong and it's tough, and it's
Yeah.
like the Chinese use the young chicken and the old chicken. They make that distinction because the flavor profile is so different. You know, like you can't use young chicken for this recipe. It has to be an old chicken, otherwise you don't
Mhm.
get that flavor. And
Mhm.
there's a Chinese butcher quite near here where you can buy young and old chicken and they keep them separately, but the cost again is an old chicken
Mhm.
will cost maybe 3 times what a young chicken does because they've had to feed it and obviously
Yeah.
keep it, you know. But
But it's worth it, man.
it is
So
absolutely worth it, but I can't justify it too
yeah,
often, you know.
true. It's
Yeah.
it's more of a treat for you.
Yeah, well, one thing is like I say all the time, the only thing for me better than chicken is more chicken. You know, I absolutely love chicken, but it's so bland and flavorless that you have to do quite a lot with it,
Yeah.
you know, to make
Yeah.
it taste good. And I don't mind doing that. I love doing that. But if I
Mhm.
get like a proper like free range corn fed or just a wild chicken, I don't do anything to it. Just roast it. That's all it needs.
Mhm.
Just don't fuck with it. You know, wee bit of
That's how you
salt on
get
the
it
skin.
here.
Yeah,
We got street vendors everywhere. You can't go 2 feet without passing a street vendor that's got a free range chicken on a spit, and the
yep,
head's still on it. It's just
yep,
spinning around. Feet are still on it. Heads are still on it, and that's how
yeah,
you buy it.
yep. That I think that's one of the failings of kind of Western supermarkets and everything. You
Mhm.
don't get that anymore. You know, you can't go into a supermarket and I mean, when I was a kid, the local butcher would sell chickens plucked, but still with their head and feet on,
Yeah.
and all their giblets. That was unless you asked them to prepare it for you, that's how you bought it. But
Yeah.
if you put
Exactly.
that in a supermarket and anywhere in the West now,
Oh
people will
yeah.
just oh, let's get a fucking head on it. Oh, I'm not touching that.
So Pearl goes to town on the heads and the legs and the feet.
Oh, the feet! I love
She,
chicken feet.
she just loves them.
I
She
love
is.
like chicken's
Anyways,
feet.
we're
Oh, sorry, we're getting off
hey,
subject.
no worries, no worries. We're out of time. We're already 3 minutes over time, but that's
Oh,
okay,
sorry.
man. No, don't apologize. I love it when we do, when this happens. It shows we're having a good conversation, right? And I hope everybody in the chat is enjoying it as well. Just a couple of quick shout outs. Christian finally made it in. Hello, Christian. Good to see you, my friend.
Oh,
Um,
just a wee shout out for Christian.
yeah, there
Been
you
wanting to do
go.
that for such a long time.
Thank you, Dusk. Thank you. And let's see, anybody else? Somebody mentioned something that. Oh yeah, okay, Booma. Uh, been doing pork steaks and throw it into ramen noodles. Well, that's really what you're supposed to be doing. But I'll give you a little hint. If you want the best ramen noodles or any kind of Asian style noodles with pork, use pork belly. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Use pork belly. Oh,
I made hoisin pork belly the other day, and you know, like put it in the wok, crisp up the skin, flip it over, brown it off a
mm,
little, slice it off, make up your
hmm
hoisin, put it in, and just left it for about 4 hours in the wok, cooking away
yeah,
so slowly. It's fucking
that's
delicious.
something they do here, man.
Mm.
And that skin, they turn it into the most perfect crackling, you know, and
Yeah,
the fat underneath the entire fat layer is almost an inch thick and it's rendered right through. Oh my lord.
I can taste it.
Oh god, I can't stop when I eat that stuff. I just can't stop. It's so good. But he also says, you know how they have turducken, uh, Turk lamb cow.
Um, I suppose you could, with some effort, fit a turkey inside a lamb. It may be easier the other way
Probably.
around, though.
Yeah.
It's just the size of the oven you would need to cook a whole cow.
Yeah, I think down south in the States, they actually deep fry the whole damn whack in a big old deep fat fryer.
I saw this on a video a couple of years ago. It was like somebody got like a big Dixie pan full of fat and dropped a
Mm.
whole turkey in it, and the flame shot up about 8 foot into the air because it
Oh.
overflowed. All the fat caught fire, and this fucking, almost like a nuclear explosion burst out of this pan. And by the time you could get to the turkey to rescue it, it was burnt to a crisp.
Oh man, that's something I've never had, turducken.
I don't think it's really a thing. It's one of these, kind of myths. Like you cook a duck, you put a duck inside a chicken, and then the chicken inside the turkey. But the meat it wouldn't cook properly. The turkey would be like
You'd have a raw
desiccated before. Yeah, you'd have a raw chicken with a raw duck inside it,
and a burnt turkey on the outside.
and you could make a tureen of it. You just cook all the meat first, and then put it into a press and make a little tureen. I think that's more likely, and I've done that before. We learned that when we were doing our classical stuff in the kitchen, how to make tureens and all that sort of a thing. But again, it's something else that's kind of fallen out of favour because it's that gelatinous, gloopy, cold meat sort of a thing.
But if it's well done, there's nothing better on a nice piece of bruschetta or something.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. For Christmas a couple of years ago, that I did the starter. It was a chicken and tarin consomme with a chicken terrine topped with caviar, and it was that saltiness cut right through the gelatinous texture of the terrine, and it all as the terrine melted into the chicken consomme, it created a layer of fat on top of it. So you had to cut through it to get to the broth below, and then you get a mouthful of red and black caviar every time you took a spoonful of the consomme. Absolutely fucking delicious.
Sounds so good. Oh,
it was. It was like everybody just sitting looking at it. Nobody wanted to be the first to put their spoon through it because it just looked so pretty on the plate. I topped it with gold leaf, so just to make it extra, like, kind of Christmassy. And it was like people were taking pictures of it. It was like, fucking eat it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't put it out to take pictures of it. You're supposed to eat it.
Cool. Oh man. Well, I've had a good time tonight, Tusk. I mean, I'm hungry as hell now. I tell you, I got to go have myself something to eat.
Yeah, we've got a good 4 hours before we can eat the casserole.
You enjoy that. You enjoy that. And
looking forward to it immensely.
Yeah. We're going to have to get you on again in a little while for another one of these, but we got to pick an animal.
I don't know. Horses, guinea pigs. What do people like? You mentioned lizards before.
Yeah, I mentioned lizards, and I think we were considering the guinea pigs. You've had some experience with them, I hear. So.
Yeah, I've eaten guinea pig once or twice. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll have to talk about it and see what we can come up with. But we definitely have to do this again.
Absolutely, it's been great fun. Thanks again for having me on.
And hopefully for everybody in the side chat, I hope it's also been a bit educational because we did have some pretty good discussion about cats and some of the cat problems that do exist in the world today. You can't hide from it. So. All right. Well, I guess that's it then, buddy. Thanks for coming out, everyone. Always great to have you here. I look forward to it when I hate it when things come up and I have to cancel a show, but I hope you guys understand that sometimes the day job just don't let you live your life. Yeah. Anything final you'd like to share with us before we cut this thing short?
No, just say thanks everybody for coming out and listening to me, and it's been great fun. And I'll see you all whenever.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's it, folks. We are out of here. Going to get something to eat. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Be safe, be good to each other, and thanks for coming out. Ciao.
Cheerio and rasta.